Once, in a faraway kingdom, the ruler held a grand ball in honor of his only son. When midnight came and the guests had departed, the prince decided to take a walk through the garden. Lost in thought, he wandered among the trees until he found himself in a moonlit clearing. Suddenly, he looked up and froze. Bathed in silver light stood a fairy dressed in lavender with a diamond crown. She was tiny, no bigger than a doll. "Dearest prince, I was invited to the ball too," the beauty said, spreading her arms, "but I didn't dare come. I'm far too small." The young man was enchanted. He gently reached out and took her hand, but in that moment, she vanished. Only a tiny glove remained, a memory of the strange encounter. Saddened, the prince returned to the palace. The next night, he went back to the clearing, hoping to see the tiny enchantress again. As he waited, he took out the glove and kissed it. In that very instant, the beautiful fairy appeared once more. They wandered together under the stars, unaware that the night was nearly over. And then magic. As they talked, the fairy had grown a little, and the glove no longer fit her. She returned it with a smile. "Keep this to remember our first meeting." "I'll hold it close to my heart," he promised. From then on, they met nightly beneath the old lindens. The prince's love deepened with every visit, and the fairy grew taller each time, until she became just like any other girl her age. "I shall now come only when the full moon shines in the sky," she said one evening. "But I can't live without you," the prince cried in despair. "Please stay." "Will you love me and only me for the rest of your life?" the fairy asked, gazing into his eyes. "I swear I will love only you and look at no one else." "Very well," she whispered. "But if you break your vow, I shall disappear forever." A week later, the king hosted a grand engagement ball for his son and invited the entire kingdom. Among the guests was a dark-eyed beauty with fiery red hair. She didn't take her eyes off the prince for a moment. Flattered, the young man was instantly captivated by the mysterious girl and began dreaming of her. As the dancing began, the fairy stumbled in her flowing gown and nearly fell. "Oh, look, her dress is too big," laughed the redhead. But the prince didn't even notice that his beloved had begun to shrink. So enchanted was he by the stranger, he failed to see the fairy turn back into a tiny doll and vanish. The red-haired girl turned out to be greedy and quarrelsome, constantly demanding luxurious gifts. Soon, the prince realized his mistake. Day and night, he longed for the little fairy. And when the moon rises in the sky, he goes searching for his lost love. But the tiny enchantress has never returned.